This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
There's never a single playoff series that's necessarily one that's easy to win. But once you get past the first two rounds of the playoffs, everybody you face has the same aspirations your team does of heading to Round Rock and competing for a state championship. Tonight, round 3 begins with a familiar playoff foe for the Flower Mound Jaguars, as the Keller Indians have put together a fantastic year, coming in 22-3-1 on the season. Undefeated district champs out of 5-6A at 14-0. 2 wins in this series will not be easy to come by for the Jaguars, even with their great stable of arms to come onto the mounds. Tonight, it's game 1 of this best-of-3 series between the Jaguars and the Indians on Champion Sports Radio. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the home of the Wildcats, Kennedale High School, and their beautiful all-turf facility as we begin game 1 of this best-of-3 series between the Keller Indians and the Flower Mound Jaguars. Thomas Lee here with you. Ryan Mueller alongside as well, and this is the time where every team out is definitely a threat to knock you off the perch.
Yeah, and 2 tradition-rich programs going head-to-head, too, and Flower Mound, and obviously Keller has had some success as well. Longtime head coach Rob Stramp, and then, of course, the job Danny Wallace has done. Yeah, you're right, you can't sleep on anybody, Thomas, and so what we're going to see in this series is good pitching. Both teams very, very solid on the bump, so looking forward to this one, partner, for sure.
Tonight on the mound will be Lane Rice for the Indians, the senior. As all of these Indians do put together a really nice season. We'll give you his numbers in a minute and introduce you to the starting lineup for the Jaguars, as well as Noah Hill steps into the box from the right side. No press box facility here at Kennedale, although they do have the all-turf field. So we're here right behind the fence. So it's just like you're here, folks. You look right through the chain link fences, all the folks in the stands are as well. First pitch is ball 1 to Hill. Rice kicks and fires. That one breaks across the outside corner. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Rice on the season, a 6-1 record, a 1.97 earned run average. As I said, all of these Indians, very impressive numbers, particularly those on the mound, as Hill fights this one off for strike 2 up and over the Jaguar dugout on the first base side. This is his 12th appearance. All of them have been starts. Comes in having thrown 49 2/3 innings on the season, surrendering 40 base hits, giving up 19 runs, only 14 of them earned, 23 walks against 49 strikeouts. This one is ripped hard, fouled on the left field line, and Hill stays alive, 1-2. Has not given up a home run. Opponents hitting .221. Off of Rice, the senior right-hander on the mound tonight for Rob Stramp and the Keller Indians. 1-2 pitch to Hill. Takes it outside. 2-2 the count. Give you the Jaguar lineup. Danny Wallace got his 93rd win in game number 2 of the Trinity Series last Friday night. The Jaguars completed a 2-game sweep. Hard hit ball up the middle and past Wakamatsu at shortstop. That's a solid leadoff single for Noah Hill. And the Jags have the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting in the count at 2-2, and he had to really defend the plate, did Noah, and he's just one of the best in North Texas at that leadoff spot. Finding a way to get on base, it sets the tone for the Jaguar lineup.
Skylar Cox will step in. Noah Hill leading it off. This is the same lineup the Jaguars have had just about every game this season. Noah Hill, the second baseman, leading things off. Batting second and at the plate is Skylar Cox, the left fielder. Sean Weimer, the senior pitcher, on deck. Bunt laid down first base side of the mound, and Rice will field and throw over. Another successful sacrifice bunt attempt for the Jaguars, and on the season, that is the 34th sacrifice for the Jaguars in 33 games now. Hill advances second. Weimer now to the plate. Sean, 256 average, 3 homers, 22 RBIs. Second on the club in ribbies. Behind Jacobson's 27. The first pitch cannot find the zone, ball 1. So Hill now on second after being sacrificed over by Cox. Weimer at the plate. Middle third of the order, Jamison Hanna, the center fielder, batting fourth. Batting fifth, Casey Jacobson, the shortstop. And designated hitter Thomas Jeffries batting sixth in the lineup tonight. Look back to second. And got underneath this one. It's popped up. Heading foul territory. Third base side now to play. Strike one of the at-bat to Sean Weimer. Bottom third of the order, the catcher Nick Thornquist will be batting seventh. Batting eighth, John Holhouse at third. And the right fielder Chad Paris batting ninth. So again, Hill, Cox, Weimer, top third of the order. Middle third, Hannah, Jacobson, and Jeffries. Bottom third, Thornquist, Holhouse, and Paris. Model of consistency, this Jaguar program, not only over the years, and we'll chronicle more of that later in the broadcast, but Danny Wallace, when he finds something that works, and it's worked to the tune of a 28-4 record on the season, very rarely fluctuates the lineup at all. Turns on this one, and this is hit to center. Few steps in, and the catch is made by Grasanovitz for the second out here in the top of the first.
I think my key tonight for the Jaguars, as it is most nights, Thomas, is for them to be aggressive. You mentioned the small ball has really worked this year, and they have put teams on their heels because of their ability to run the bases. So that's going to be very important for Danny Wallace's club.
Here's Jamison Hanna swinging through the first pitch, strike one. 5'10", 180-pound senior headed to DBU. 368 average, that's second on the team. He's driven in 20, that's good for third on the club. Oh, and by the way, quite the speedster, third in stolen bases with 14 swipes and 16 attempts. Good swing on this one to right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. The go sign is on. Hill digging hard. The ball is booted in center. And the first run scores. It's a 2-out RBI for Jamison Hanna. And the Jaguars take a 1-0 lead.
Even with an 0-1 count, I think Rice is getting ahead of hitters, but jumped on a fastball. Hanna didn't skip a beat, and that's right on the barrel of the bat and into right center field. It just shows you how much it pays off to have your leadoff hitter get aboard, move him around, and get him home.
46 2-out RBI of the season. And for Jamison, that's his 11th. That's one behind the man now at the plate, Casey Jacobson, who has 12. Extra base here. You can plate it down the line and the gap and drive it well. With the speed of Hanna at first, he's got a shot to score. Gets underneath this one, though, and it's a pop-up to shallow left center field. Coming in is the center fielder, and Grasanovitz makes the catch. That'll do it for the top of the first. Jaguars played the first run of the ball game off of a pair of base hits. There are no errors and a man left aboard. Half inning in the books. Jags 1. Indians coming to the plate for the first time right after these messages on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Jaguars plate one in the top of the first. We head now to the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 Flower Mound on top. Jaguars the visitors here in game one. Will be the home team tomorrow in Argyle. An early start. It's be on the air at 3 p.m. So if you can't get out from work, want to join us?
Leading off for the Keller Indians.
Pull out your mobile phone, your tablet, your computer, however you want to listen and watch, and we'll have the game for you right here on Champion Sports Radio. Sean Weimer on the mound for the Jaguars. 6'2", 190-pound senior. 8-0 record on the year. Has a save on the season as well. A 0.96 earned run average. And the first pitch, this is inside for ball one. This is his 13th appearance, his 10th start. He's thrown 51 1/3 innings on the year, surrendering 28 base hits. And impressively, only 8 runs in over 50 innings of play, 7 of them earned. He's walked 17, struck out 66. Allowed a couple home runs, but opponents are only hitting 162 off of the senior righty headed to TCU. And he falls behind Peyton Grasanovitz, 3-0 here to kickstart the contest. Fastball that can get up into the 90s. Got a power breaking ball. A changeup as well, and it's a 4-pitch walk by Weimer.
I don't really think that Jaguar fans need to be alarmed, Thomas, because it's good to see Weimer trying to get that ball inside. And it seems like our home plate umpire is calling a little bit of a tight strike zone here. But I like to see Weimer try to establish himself in the inner part of the plate.
Saw that a couple weeks ago in the first round showdown with Timber Creek. I think my clipboard was about the size of the strike zone that night, as there was not much given to either side. Here comes Bradley Knighting, the right fielder. Shows bunt, pitches high, and it's 5 consecutive balls, and Thornquist will head out to the mound. And it looks like as Sean is doing a little landscaping out there, I'm not so sure he's good with his footing out there, and that may be affecting his release point.
Yeah, the mound is awful high out there in the middle of the infield. And, you know, for a guy like Weimer, he knows what he has to do, and that is just relax. A lot of times when you have a strike zone the size of a clipboard, you know, you tend to compensate for that, and balls end up flattening out over the heart of the plate. Weimer knows he's not going to do that. He's still going to attack the corners here.
That one's in there for a strike. Rob Stramp, 16 years as the head coach of the Keller Indians, 472 wins all told. Keller comes in with a 22-3-1 record this year, 14-0 undefeated champions of District 5-6A, and made pretty quick work in a couple of low-scoring ball games against the Plano Wildcats in the bi-district round. 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike.
There's that beautiful bender that if you're a hitter, it looks like it's completely off the plate and outside, and it just climbs back in. Good pitch from Weimer.
One-two pitch from Sean Weimer. Grounder foul third base side. Stays alive 1 and 2. Here's the lineup for Coach Stramp tonight. Peyton Grasanovitz, the senior center fielder with a leadoff 4-pitch walk. He's on first base. Bradley Knighting, the junior right fielder, at the plate right now with a 1-2 count. On deck, the junior catcher headed to Baylor, Shea Langeliers. Middle third of the order, Hunter Say, the junior first baseman, batting fourth. Batting fifth, Luke Wakamatsu, the senior headed to Rice, the shortstop, batting fifth. And batting sixth, Phil Young, senior designated hitter. 1-2 from Weimer. A little high, 2-2 the count. Bottom third of the order, Chase Green, the senior left fielder headed to Hill College, will be batting seventh. Batting eighth, Zane Wilkinson, the junior second baseman. And in the ninth spot, Kyle Rich, a freshman at third base. Time called, no pitch. Count is still 2-2.
Really a prime opportunity for Keller right now. I mean, all the Flower Mound fans are fully aware of Sean Weimer when he gets into a groove. So if you want to try to rattle him, now's the time.
That one's lined foul down the third base line, out of play. The old adage, the only way you're really going to get a good scoring opportunity against a really top-notch pitcher is get to him early. And that's what the Indians are trying to do here. 2-2 pitch, swung on, fought off again. Great battle taking place here between Weimer on the mound and Knighting at the plate.
Weimer's such a leader for the pitching staff, and could be, I mean, arguably he's the ace of this staff, and there's a reason for that. Doesn't matter if the score is 1-0, it's tied, or they're up 8-0. He's going to approach every at-bat the same way. Work the corners, mix up the speeds, keep the hitter guessing. He's an artist.
Payoff pitch. Nope, throw over to first instead. This Keller team is not one that runs often. Just 46 stolen bases in 68 attempts. That's right, they've stolen 46. They've been caught 22 times. That one's high. Back-to-back walks for Weimer here in the first.
The release point just a little too high on that fastball, and it just rose up on Weimer. Love to have that pitch back, but at the same time, he needs to listen to coaching staff here and figure out how he's going to get out of this.
Danny Wallace is walking out to the field. He's trying to get the first base umpire's attention to call time to go out there and talk to his infield who's gathered on the mound. And the first thing he does is he goes to work on the pitching mound, but couldn't get the first base umpire's attention. And so he looked home, and home plate umpire says, yeah, coach, you're allowed to go out there and talk to him.
You make a great point, though, Thomas, that mound is, I think it may be the footing a little bit. Any time that you make that long stride to the plate and it just doesn't feel right, sometimes your release point isn't where it normally is. And so, I think that's the issue right now. And so that's why I mentioned before that this meeting is so important. Bring everybody in, get on the same page, make sure Sean is comfortable out there, and got to get 3 outs
now
here.
Batting the catcher, Shea Langeliers.
Dangerous hitter coming to the plate. The middle of this lineup is a murderer's row. Very similar to what the Trinity Trojans trotted out last weekend. Langeliers, batting average may not show it, with a .233 average. He squares the bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch finds a home in the zone. 0-1 the count. And you can see right here, Rob Stramp, of course, a great history as a player. And talking with him before the ball game, says that he learned from some of the best in the business when he was coming up as a player. This one's turned on to right center field. Hard hit ball is going to get down into the gap. 1 run will come home. 2 runs will score. It's a 2-run double for Shea Langeliers. And the Indians retake the lead now 2-1.
After not being able to find the plate, that's what you run into. That's the tough part. You're trying to get your control back, and as tight as the strike zone is, forces Sean Weimer to put the ball where he doesn't want to, and that is over the middle of the plate, and that is what happened. Langmuir does a good job of driving that into right center field, into the gap. Keller is a team that can strike quickly, and that's why they're here in this round, so heads up.
Going to bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch is high, ball one. Hunter Say, the junior first baseman, now at the plate. .397 average, 16 driven in. Shows bunt. That one's a ball as well. Two O's in there for a strike.
See Weimer getting the signs from his shortstop, try to see what to throw next. So important pitch by pitch in this inning. Keep it close.
Nice job by Thornquist to keep that one in front of him. 3-1 the count here to Say. Courtesy runner on second is Jared McKinney, a senior. The senior McKinney running for Langmuir now on second. Nobody out. Bottom of the first inning. Indians have already plated 2 runs. They lead it 2-1 over Flower Mound. The 3-1 pitch is high. That is the third walk in 4 batters issued by Weimer. And there's some action over in the Jaguar bullpen.
Now you got to give the Indians credit. They're being so patient at the plate because they can sense the inability to have control for Sean Weimer, and so they're kind of laying back, Thomas, laying off pitches, and it's paying dividends.
Noah Hill comes in from second to talk to Weimer on the mound. Give him a little dap. Rob Stramp, of course, you see the bunts continually being shown. This is something he learned throughout his career. Played for Lance Brown in high school. A year at Yavapai Junior College playing for Gary Ward. Some legends here. And then, of course, as far as I'm concerned, maybe the greatest, well, one of the 2 or 3 greatest college managers of all time, Cliff Gustafson. Rob Stramp, the head coach of the Indians, was a member of the 1975 University of Texas National Championship team that went 56-6 on the year. That one's downstairs, and the count evens ball and a strike here to Luke Wakamatsu, senior shortstop headed to Rice. Wakamatsu with a .373 average. Puts that one into play, but it's foul for strike 2 of the at-bat. 1-2 the count.
There's really, again, no need to panic for Sean Weimer on the mound. Yep, gave up the 2 runs, but as long as you can keep it close, do your job. You got the force play at third, chance for a double play. He's got some options in this at-bat.
Wakamatsu sounds familiar. Well, it's like, well, it seems like a name I should know. So he hits it back up. It goes off the glove of Weimer, and there'll be no chance for a play. Boy, bad break there for the Jaguars. Weimer almost came away with a great defensive play. Instead, it's an infield single. And the bases are now loaded for the Indians. 5 men to the plate. 5 men have reached base against Sean Weimer here in the first.
Tough play, just a difficult play. Weimer just to stab at it, to knock it down. His thinking was, if I don't catch the glove, I can at least knock it in front of me and then kick fire and go to first, but not even that option. Just a tough play as it ends up in no man's land between first and second.
Here's Phil Young, the designated hitter. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's high for ball 1. Young, 225 average. Batting average with runners in scoring positions, 200 as the bases are juiced. Comes in and hits them. That's the 3rd run for the Indians here in the first.
Yeah, that release point, not where Weimer wanted it, and I know he's trying to work the inside, but that pitch just got away. Tough to take. I know it feels like he's in quicksand right now and just can't get out of it, but baseball is all about the positives. We'll see what he hears from his head coach, Danny Wallace.
I think he's going to hear, once you head over to the bench and take a seat. We'll see him probably again in this series, and Sean Weimer actually not probably not head over and take a seat, probably head over and get your fielding glove and head to first base. As we will have a new pitcher here for the Flower Mound Jaguars, and it is going to be Caleb Killian, the 6'3", 170-pound junior. Killian on 5 batters faced, all reaching base, the 6th one hit. 3 walks, 2 base hits, and a batter plunked by Weimer. He doesn't retire anybody, and he's done on the mound, and now we'll head over to first base. Partner, it's been a number of years since we've seen something like this happen for the Jaguars. If anybody in high school can handle their ace going out and just not having it together to start a ball game like Sean has shown here today, it's this team with how deep they are in the bullpen.
Yeah, you know, you have a bad day. The good news is that Jaguars have so many good pitchers in that bullpen. They can bring them out, and they can be effective. And, you know, I know right now it's bases loaded, nobody out. It's in the first. It's early, down by 2 runs. Just got to chisel your way through this, Thomas. And Flower Mound's offense is so good, and they have so much confidence that this game is far from over, even if Keller ends up having a big inning.
3-1 the score right now. Indians still with nobody out here, bottom of the first inning. And on comes Caleb Killian, the 6'3", 170-pound junior. A power fastball with some late movement, 88 to 91 miles an hour. Good breaking ball. But his best pitch may be the changeup. It looks just like the fastball coming out of his hands. And the change in speed is dramatic. So Killian now on. He is 5-2 on the year with a 1.68 earned run average. This is his 11th appearance. His 3rd in relief. He's thrown 50 innings on the season coming in. That's only an inning in the 3rd behind Weimer. Remember, this is a 3-headed monster through all of district. So these guys all got plenty of experience. So Killian now on. In 50 innings, surrendering 34 base hits, 14 runs, only 12 earned. Walked 16, struck out 69 batters. That's tops on the team. Did allow a home run. Opponents only hit 194 off of Killian. And 41 times in 50 innings this year, Killian got the leadoff man that he faced out in an inning. And that is what Jaguar fans are looking for here. 7-hole hitter Chase Green, the senior left fielder, up for the Indians. 3-1 lead for Keller. Shows bunt. Fastball catches outside corner, strike 1. Green, 197 average, has driven in 17. That's tied for the team lead with Wakamatsu. Off speed, comes high and ties it, slips out of the hand to Killian. Count even now, ball on the strike. Say's on third, Wakamatsu's on second, Young's on first. Bases loaded for the Indians. Foul back into the parking lot. 1-2 now the count. If it sounds like it's a decidedly partisan Indians crowd, it's because where we're set up is kind of on the Keller side of the stands. Jaguar fans, we're to the third base side. All the Jag fans are over near the Jaguar dugout on the first base side. And a big punch out for Caleb Killian. The Jaguars finally get the first out here in the first inning.
Yeah, it's nice work of changing speeds right there by Caleb. And, you know, I can tell he can feel it up there as well. It's the, the mound is, that's tough. You're not used to that, and you're coming all the way down. It feels like you're trying to go from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain in one stride, and it can make you feel a little uncomfortable, but he's doing a good job, obviously, with the punch-out.
First pitch, little tardy swing as it goes foul over into the Jaguar bullpen area. That'll be strike one. Zane Wilkinson, the junior second baseman, now up for the Indians. 246 average, 12 driven in. Bases still loaded, though, for Keller. Curveball, can't find the zone. This afternoon of Jaguar Baseball brought to you in part by Raising Cane's on Main Street in Louisville and on FM 407 in Flower Mound. Nabs the outside corner, strike two. Their one love is cooked-to-order chicken finger meals along with unique Raising Cane's secret sauce. Jaguar Baseball program wants to thank Cane's for their support of the Jags. 1-2 from Killian. Goes after him again, trying to nab that outside corner. 2-2 now the count here to Wilkinson. Just got a piece, foul back to the screen, and Wilkinson stays alive. You go back to that second batter that Weimer faced, Bradley Knighting. It was a 9-pitch at-bat in which 3 pitches were fouled off after a 2-strike count before the walk was earned. That was kind of the tipping point. I think if Weimer gets that out, that he's able to really lock it back in and stay in this thing. Instead, Danny Wallace has gone to the pin and brought out Caleb Killian, who's got a full count here on Zane Wilkinson with nowhere to put him. Bases loaded, 1 gone here, bottom of the first. 3 runs already across for the Keller Indians. Another pitch foul back to the screen.
It's so difficult, and you have the strike zone that is out there right now for these pitchers, and I'm not making excuses for, you know, Weimer and Killian, but at the same time, it's really difficult. As a pitcher, you trust certain pitches, and for Sean Weimer, he's got a great fastball, great breaking ball, and unable to really trust it because of the tight strike zone and also the mound as high as it is, not having the same success as he's had with those breaking pitches. It makes you just not trust yourself.
Payoff pitch, swung on to center and caught. Very shallow flare. I thought it was going to carry better, but nice job by Killian to come in on the hands of Wilkinson. It's caught by Jacobson behind the second base bag, and there's 2 gone now here in the first.
The fastball, changeup, they've both worked on the inner and outer half of the plate, and big right-hander is doing a good job of just locking in on the strike zone.
First pitch is high to Kyle Rich, the freshman third baseman. A 114 average, no homers, 5 driven in. for the freshman Rich now at the plate. Base is still loaded. Swings through that one, 1-1. Swings through that one, a ball and 2 strikes. Killian a strike away from ending this threat here in the first. 3 runs already across for Keller. They've got the bases loaded. The 1-2 pitch from Caleb Killian. Did he go? I'm going to say no, he did not. The appeal down to the first base umpire. 2-2 now the count.
Tough pitch to lay off of, especially after the number of fastballs that have been thrown in this at-bat. Goes with a breaking pitch and almost fooled the hitter.
That late movement, that bite. 2-2, fouled off. Skylar Cox is a left fielder. Jamison Hanna is in center. Chad Paris over and right, all playing straight away against the right-handed swinging freshman third baseman, Kyle Rich. Sean Holhouse behind the bag at third. Casey Jacobson at short. The second baseman is Noah Hill. Another pitch fouled off. Indian hitters really taxing the Jaguar pitchers here in the first. At first base is Sean Weimer, and the battery again, Nick Thornquist behind the plate. Caleb Killian now on the mound for Flower Mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base hit back up the middle. Hanna has a problem fielding it. 2 runs will score.
Another pitch left up on the heart of the plate. And Killian knows it. And it's a frustrating thing with facing hitters that Keller has. They're patient when they need to be. They attack when they need to. And that ball just was smoked right up the middle of the field. And Indians earned 2 more runs.
5 earned runs off of Weimer today. He came in having only allowed 7 on the entire season. The first pitch misses outside as the lineup resets, and Grasanovich is back up to the plate. He's seen nothing but balls. A 4-pitch walk to lead off this inning. Now up for the second time here in the frame. Phil Young's on second. Kyle Rich is on first for the Keller Indians, who lead it now 5-1. Solid hit right into the glove of Noah Hill. And the Keller fans are roaring here at Wildcat Field. In the first inning, 5 runs come across. They do so on the benefit of 3 base hits, no errors, and 2 men left aboard. We've played a full inning. It's a 5-1 Keller lead on top of Flower Mound. We'll head to the second after these messages on Champion Sports Radio.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
And welcome back here to Kennedale High School. Game one of this best-of-3 showdown here in the regional quarterfinals. Sees the Keller Indians on top of the Flower Mound Jaguars 5-1 here in the first inning. Start play in the second. It's going to be 6, 7, and 8 due up. Thomas Jeffries, Nick Thornquist, and Sean Holhouse to the plate. Jeffries swings through the first pitch for strike one. Lane Rice kicks and fires, and the right-hander pulls the string. Jeffries swings through that one, and the count 0-2 here. The leadoff Jaguar in second inning. Jeffries signed to play with Paris. Junior college grounds out back to the mound. An underhand toss from Rice over to first base. Stays on the bag, and a 1-3 ground out for the first out here in the second.
Nick Thornquist.
So here comes Nick Thornquist with one gone here in the top of the second. Good looking first pitch strike there from Lane Rice. This half inning of Jaguar baseball brought to you in part by Syracuse Sausage, the best sausage in Texas. You can buy them at the Jaguar concession stand when the Jags are at home. We're on the road. Stop and join the tailgate crew about an hour and a half before first pitch in the parking lot. Just look for the throngs of Jaguar fans gathered around a couple of pickups. It's a good time. Chances are you'll see the broadcast crew out there, too. We always stop by and get our Syracuse sausage before the ball game. Jags want to thank Syracuse Sausage for a 6-year partnership. We got a solid base hit down the left field line. Thornquist is going to try to turn it into a double, and he does. Look at the speed from the junior. As he flies around, and he is in safely with a one-out double here in the second.
Now batting the third baseman, Sean Holhouse.
So that'll bring up Holhouse, who had a big game last Friday night. Trevor Jureka, the courtesy runner for Thornquist, now on at second base. 5'10", 165-pound junior. Holhouse gets underneath this one, lifts it to right center field. They're converging, and center fielder will make the catch. Drasanovitz calling off Knighting there, and that's a second out here in the second. Fly ball to center off the bat of
now
Sean Holhouse.
Right fielder Chad Paris.
That will bring up Chad Paris. Got a 2-out RBI knock from Jamison Hanna in the first. You're going to need one from Paris here. Try to plate a run here in the second. Rice with a look back to Jureka at second. Deals home, grounder. Wakamatsu's going to field it. The throw over is in time. 6-3 ground out on just 8 pitches. Rice gets through the second. No runs on the hit, no errors, one left. Inning and a half of the books, 5-1. Keller leads Flower Mound. We'll be back to Kennedale High School. So we continue with Game 1 of this best-of-3 series between the Jaguars and the Indians on Champion Sports Radio.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for Team Middle Management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
2, 3, and 4 due up for the Indians as we head to the second inning. Keller on top 5-1 over the Flower Mound Jaguars. Your game one of this best-of-3 series. Along with Ryan Mueller, I'm Thomas Lee. Killian's first pitch misses in tight, ball one. 10 to the plate for the Indians in the first. 6 against Weimer, and he doesn't retire a batter. Then Killian comes on and retires 3 of the 4 he faces. It's a 5-0 hole. Excuse me, a 5-1 hole the Jaguars find themselves in. As the Indians bat in the bottom of the second inning. That one does not nibble the outside part of the plate. 2-1 the count here to the left-handed swinging right fielder, Bradley Knighting. Junior with a monstrous at-bat. Really battled Weimer in the first. A 9-pitch effort. .349 average on the year for Knighting. A home run, 12 RBIs. That one right back into your kitchen, folks. Still 2-2 count. Killing gets a sign, kicks and fires. Good eye by Knighting to lay off, and he's got a full count yet again.
I think these two teams defensively are one of the best. It has to do with their coaches, in my opinion, with guys like Stramp and Wallace. That's for sure.
Another walk issued.
Now batting, the catcher, Shea Langoliers.
Fourth batter walked. Weimer also hit a batter. That's 5 free passes handed out by the Jaguar pitching staff.
And that's exactly why I make that point of having good defense behind a pitcher. Days that you do not have your best stuff, you've got to have the support from your infield and outfield, and both these teams have goose eggs in the error column so far.
Showing bunt, pulling it back is Shea Langoliers, the Baylor verbal commit. Junior catcher for the Indians, who had a big 2-run double back in the first. His courtesy runner came home to score the third of the 5 runs plated by the Indians in the first frame. That one's high. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It just continues to be what Rob Stramp is all about. For Keller, players get up there and they are just smart hitters. They take pitches, like I said earlier, when they need to, and then they attack when they do. The point of that is, Killian's really going to have to work if he wants punch-outs. They're going to try to work him deep into counts and then wait for the pitch that they really want to get after.
Ground ball foul, third base side. Makes it a 1-2 count here for Killian to Langoliers. Swing and a miss. Speaking of strikeouts, there is the second one for Caleb Killian in the first out here in the second inning.
Great movement on that pitch. He's got full head of steam coming to the plate, and then right as it breaks the plane, he's got that good bite on it, and he nabbed the hitter.
First pitch comes inside, ball 1 to Hunter Say, who had a walk in the first. This half inning of Jaguar Baseball brought to you in part by Kohl's. You can expect great things from Kohl's and from the Kohl's Cares Community Volunteer Program. Kohl's, a proud 6-year sponsor. Flower Mound Jaguar baseball. Now Say ahead in the count 2-0. Pitch from Killian. Inside corner, strike one.
The mentality from Killian up on the mound. Throws a couple of balls, then walks around the mound, takes a deep breath, steps back on the rubber, and then comes with that strike there.
Runner takes off, hit and run is on, and again fouled right back towards Mr. Mueller in our camera. Well, maybe it's just something weird in the water today. I'm not so sure. 5 runs off of Sean Weimer. Jensen Elliott's given up 4 runs already as Carroll has a 4-0 lead in game 1 of their series. Ball game you can pull up on a second screen. Nick Motley with a big hand in what's going on in Cantorino has only allowed 1 hit through 2 innings. Again, foul back to the backstop, 2-2. And you can see all the way out to the mound where Killian is. He fields it, tosses it back in. Big 3-run double for Motley moments ago. Made it 4-0. Elliott and Weimer both not on their game today as Say gets underneath this one. This is shallow left center field, and Jacobson with an over-the-shoulder catch. 2 gone here in the second.
The shortstop, Luke Wakamatsu.
So bring up Luke Wakamatsu. Got an infield single back in the first. Throw over to first and Knighting back inside. 373 average for Wakamatsu. He's driven in 17 on the year. You wonder why that name sounds familiar. He's the son, the second of 2 sons for Don Wakamatsu, the former manager of the Mariners for a couple of seasons, now the bench coach with the Kansas City Royals. Takes ball 1 high. If you're wondering what the son of a Mariners skipper is doing in Keller, his family was here and really laid down roots while Don was a coach with the Texas Rangers. From 2003 to 2006, he was the Rangers bench coach. He actually filled in for Buck Showalter for a couple of games, who was in the hospital with an irregular heartbeat. And in 2007, when Ron Washington took over as manager, he became the third base coach. His hit and run is on, and this one again underneath it. Maybe a chance for Thornquist, and he's under it and makes a catch. After a leadoff walk, Killian settles down, gets the next 3 in order in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. 2 in the books, 5-1 Keller with the lead. On Flower Mound, we'll be back to Kennedale after these messages on Champion Sports Radio.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported.
Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com. Two full innings in the books. We head to the third. It's a 5-1 lead for Keller on top of Flower Mound. 1, 2, and 3 due up here in the top of the third. It'll be Hill, Cox, and Weimer to face off against Lane Rice. Jaguars with 1 run on 3 hits as Hill singled to lead off the ball game. It was driven home on a 2-out RBI by Jamison Hanna. 1-0 pitch to Hill. Take strike one. You've heard Danny Wallace mention this several times throughout the year. The only thing that Noah's missing from being an elite leadoff hitter is above average blazing speed, jet-like quickness. On base percentage of .500 on the season. He's worked 32 walks in 32 ball games. Now make this number 33 on the year as he gets way ahead in the count here, 3-1 on Rice. I think more than anything else, it's how he makes the opposite pitcher really work at it. He had his 26th at-bat of the year of 6 or more pitches back in the first. On the 6th pitch, Hill delivered a single off of Rice. It'll be another 6-pitch at-bat here as the count goes full to Hill to lead things off here in the third.
Anytime you have a player like that, you're thinking, yep, he's in the number 1 spot because he can just make things happen.
Ground ball to third. Nice backhand. The freshman's throw over. Rich is on the money. 5-3 ground out. Leadoff man retired here in the third.
It's tough for Noah Hill when you hit it that hard to get down the line, but man, he was just busting it all the way down. He had his eyes on the first base bag, not for lack of effort, that's for sure. He doesn't have the speed, maybe the lightning speed that Danny Wallace wants him to have. Boy, he sure tries.
Yeah, it's literally the only thing. He's got good speed, it's just not electric. You get a little spoiled after 3 years of Connor Wanhanen leading off for you as the first pitch is taken by Skylar Cox. Speaking of Connor, he's had himself a pretty good year. 0-1 to Cox. This is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Yeah. I don't think Connor realizes he's playing in college because he's putting together numbers just like he did at Flower Mound last season. Connor Wanhanen earlier this week named the unanimous selection as Freshman of the Year in the Big 12 Conference. And we expect things like that, but I think, Mr. Mueller, what was even more impressive to me as Cox takes ball number 2 is that he was a unanimous first-team All-Big 12 performer. The only freshman to rank in the top 10 in hits and stolen bases for the Big 12. Only contest. He also finished with the 5th best batting average and the 4th best on-base percentage.
Yeah, he was a special player for Flower Mound. There's no doubt about it. As fast as he was, I mean, he was tall. Normally you see guys that are pretty short scrappers that can really dash down the line, but he used that long stride because he was so tall and continues to have success, as you're talking about.
So it's a 5-pitch walk to Cox, and now Weimer steps to the plate, the third baseman. First baseman. Sean may have some frustrations he wants to take out on the baseball here. I think the hardest thing is going to be for the senior to be patient. I'm sure he's going to want to pound one over the fence. He's got 3 home runs on the year. Number 4 right here would be very sweet. Takes, though, and it's strike 1. Elsewhere on the All Big 12 honors, we got some other guys with Louisville ISD and last year's 5-5A rivals appearing on the list. Craig Aiken, a first-team Big 12er, the former Coppell star, joining Juan Hannen on that club. Second team features Jackson Kramer, another former Coppell star, the sophomore at West Virginia, as is Taylor Munden, the senior who played at Louisville High. Great slide out by the catcher. Langliers able to block that one. The count's even at 1-1. He had honorable mentions for Adam Toth, another former Coppell star. Jake Elliott, speaking of Coppell. And Coppell's opponent tonight, Tyler Alexander from South Lake Carroll, appearing in the honorable mention list. But Jaguars with 2 on the all-freshman team in the Big 12. Joining Juan Hannen is B.J. Myers. Great year at West Virginia for the hard-throwing right-hander.
You win a state championship in the state of Texas, you're going to have some ball players.
Grounder too short. Steps on the bag at second. The throw over in time. 6 unassisted, 3 double play. And that'll do it for the Jags in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 2.5 in the books. 5-1 Keller with the lead. Playoff baseball continues in a moment on Champion Sports Radio.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
Back here at Kennedale High School, it's a 5-1 Keller lead on the defending state champion Flower Mound Jaguars. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors.
DH, number 16, Phil Young.
For Flower Mound, 5 runs on 3 hits and no errors for Keller. All the runs in the contest scored in the first inning. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Indians, and the first pitch to Phil Young is swung through for strike 1 as Caleb Killian is now on the mound, coming on for Sean Weimer after 6 batters. Hard hit ball to third, whole house with it, to throw over inside. 5-3 ground out, and Young is gone for the first out here in the third inning. This half inning brought to you in part by Rapid Med Urgent Care at Highland Village.
The left fielder, Chase Green.
A family-owned business delivering the best, most convenient medical care to friends and neighbors. Range of services include primary care to urgent care, immunization, school and sports physicals, so much more. Visit rapidmed.com for more information. Good-looking curve there for Killian. It's strike one to Chase Green, the senior left fielder. Struck out swinging, the first batter that Killian faced in the first inning. Goes through that one as well. Really pulled the string. And Killian ahead in the count, 0-2. Fastball, boy, gunned him down. Third strikeout tonight for Killian.
Now batting, second
A
baseman.
three-pitch
Zane
strikeout.
Wilkinson.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and three completely different speeds on the three pitches.
And we always mention this. It's so important for a pitcher to get ahead in the count. And that way, hitters got to pull the trigger on anything close, and you get to play around with pitches a little bit. But Killian didn't waste any time. He went right after the batter.
6 pitches thrown here in the third for Caleb Killian. All 6 of them are strikes as he starts off Zane Wilkinson with strike one. Second baseman squares the bunt, pulls it back, finds the home in the zone anyway. And for the second consecutive batter, it's an 0-2 count for Killian. Curveball can't catch the zone. First ball of the inning by Killian. But a 1-2 count setting him up. And kind of thinking fastball outside corner, partner. What do you think?
I think so. That pitch has worked well for him tonight.
A little under the knees. 2-2 the count.
You can see him out there. I mean, he just kind of steps behind the rubber, collects himself, gets back on. His game is playing to his pace right now.
Full count, Peel down to first. Did not go, according to our first base umpire. Full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With 2 outs, bases clean for Keller here, bottom third. At the knees, got him looking. 4th strikeout for Killian. And his first 1-2-3 inning. In fact, he's retired 6 in a row. And 7 of the last 8. In the third, no runs, hits, errors, nobody left. 3 full in the books. Keller with a 5-1 lead on Flower Mound. Back to Kennedale High School after these messages on Champion Sports Radio.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
(5-1) Keller with the lead on Flower Mound as we head now to the top of the 4th inning. Jamison Hanna leading it off 4-5 and 6-2 up here in the 4th. Lane Rice has been cruising along, 36 pitches in the first 3 innings, 24 of them for strikes. Starts out Hanna with strike one. Hard hit ball on the ground to second. And up at the throw and over. Hanna retired 4-3. Zane Wilkinson with the throw on the money to Hunter Say for the first out here in the 4th inning. This inning of Jaguar Baseball brought to you in part by Point of Origin Design, your one-stop shop for apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. They offer a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products with competitive pricing and quality work. You can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. Online at pointoforigindesign.com. Check them out. They're the best. As Jacobson steps in, takes the first pitch for strike one. Casey 0 for 1, hit a fly ball to center back in the first. Hard hit ground ball, too short. Wakamatsu's throw. 2 steps ahead of Jacobson. Pair of groundouts right back up the middle of the infielders for Rice, who's pitching for contact now and just looking for outs.
Now he has got to get back up from his defense, but the key really here in this game has been control for whoever's pitching on the mound. Sometimes you just have to rear back and really throw it, see if you can blow it by the hitter, and if you can't, then you got your boys behind you to pick you up.
Jeffries 269 on the average, no homers, 7 RBIs. Takes that pitch. Count evens now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Thomas, 6'4", 190-pound senior. Signed with Paris College. Good swing on this one to shallow center. Charging in, though, and making the catch is Grasanovitz. And that is a quick inning. 7 pitches, 6 for strikes, and Rice has set down the side in order in the 4th. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left. Halfway through the ball game, 5-1. Keller with the lead on Flower Mound. We'll be back to Kennedale High School after these messages. Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV. Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org. Welcome back here to Kennedale High School, the home of the Wildcats.
Third baseman,
Caleb Killian back out to begin his 4th full inning of work. He retired all 3. He was credited with all 3 outs in the first inning after coming on in relief. And here in the 4th, face off against 9-1-2 in the Indians lineup. That's Rich, Grasanovitz, and Knighting. The first pitch on the outside corner, strike 1. To Kyle Rich, who had a big 2-out, 2-run single in the first that dramatically changed the feeling of the ball game at the time. That one's low. He takes it for a ball, 1-1. But the freshman 2-out hit, a 3-1 ball game right now feels completely different than the 5-1 score that we've got. Ground ball back up the middle. Hill ranges over, knocks it down, and a very uncharacteristic error for Noah Hill at second. The leadoff man is aboard here in the 4th.
Now batting.
That's got to be frustrating for Noah Hill. Thomas, you and I were sitting here. We were setting up. I just kind of sat down and watched Flower Mound take infield. Everybody looks sharp. I mean, they made play after play after play, and that's when I know probably eats Noah up inside.
First pitch is low to the leadoff hitting center fielder Peyton Grasanovitz. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Did work a walk on 4 pitches. Scored the first run of the contest. Bunt is down first base side. Great execution. Killian throw over to Weimer at first. Beautiful sacrifice bunt. 1-3 on the ground out. Moves Rich over into scoring position at second. There's one gone here in the fourth. This half inning brought to you apart by Quick Car Full Service Auto Repair and Car Wash. Quick Car at FM 2499, FM 3040 is your spot for all your repair, service, car wash, and detail needs. Quick Car, a proud 4-year sponsor, the Flower Mound Jaguars. Talk about the walks. 3 of them issued by Weimer. All of them scored. We talked about how uncharacteristic that is for Sean individually, but for this Jaguar team, really rare sight as Killian starts off Knighting with a first pitch strike at the knees. Knighting, 2 plate appearances, 2 walks worked in the contest. So coming into the ball game, only 6 of the 57 walks issued by Jaguar pitching have scored, and 5 of those 6 were leadoff walks in an inning. So that was Grasinovich's leadoff walk that scored, but the walks by Knighting and Say, that's how rare walks have come back to bite the Jaguars this season, as 3 of the 5 runs reached base via a walk. And in fact, that was the first leadoff walk to score allowed by Sean Weimer on the season. This one's going to head over to the stands over on the left field side. That's strike 2 of the at-bat. A ball and 2 strikes here to Knighting. .349 average coming in, a home run, 12 RBIs. Killing the head, though, in the count, 1-2. There are only 12 leadoff walks for the Jaguars coming in. Already 2 in this contest. 1 by Weimer in the first, 1 by Killian in the second. It was Knighting's leadoff walk in the second. That was the last Indian to reach base until the error allowed Rich to hit first here in the fourth. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout there. Strikeout number 5 for Killian. And 2 gone here in the fourth inning.
Now batting, the catcher, Shea Langler.
Langeliers now steps to the plate. Drove in his 12th and 13th RBI of the year back in the first. RBI opportunity with runner on second, 2 gone. Ground ball fisted to third. Whole house up with it. The throw's on the money. 5-3 ground out in a very economical inning as far as pitch count goes for Killian. Only 10 pitches thrown after he only threw 11 in the third. He's getting better as the game continues on. In the fourth, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. We played 4 full innings. The Indians lead the Jaguars 5-1. 5th inning right after these messages on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Take me out to the ball game.
Jaguars come to the plate here in the top of the 5th inning, trailing by 4 runs. It's Keller 5, Flower Mound 1. And 7, 8, and 9 due up here in the 5th. It'll be Thornquist, followed by Whole House and Paris. 7, 8, and 9 due up to face off against Rice here in the 5th inning. Or the Jags as they trail by 4. The first pitch curves and breaks away from the right-handed swinging Thornquist. And that's ball 1. Nick with one of the 3 Jaguar base hits of the night as he had a double in the second, but Drecker, his courtesy runner, was stranded there. Again, trying to nibble the outside corner. Rice doesn't get the call. It's now a 2-0 count. Chase Green is in left field. Peyton Grasanovitz in center. And Bradley Knighting in right. All playing Thornquist pretty straight away. So he takes it on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. Two-one, same spot, same result. A 2-2 count now on Thornquist. The leadoff Jaguar here in the 5th.
I think I've got to get off to a good start. Get that leadoff hitter aboard. That's the important thing right now for Flower Mound. Climb back in this game, running out of outs.
First strikeout of the ball game for Lane Rice. Got Thornquist swinging. That's the first down here in the 5th.
It just runs underneath a Thornquist, trying to make a level swing on a pitch that looked like it was supposed to be right down the heart of the plate. Then it just dips. It's a good breaking pitch for Rice.
Here's Whole House, takes first pitch high and outside, ball 1. This half inning of Jaguar baseball, sponsored in part by Heaven's Best, a worldwide leader in carpet and upholstery cleaning, with services including rug cleaning, leather cleaning, tile and grout, and hardwood floor cleaning. Again, outside, 2-0 the count now, and Langeliers is going to head out to the mound to have a conversation with Rice. Heaven's Best dry in 1 hour process has exceptional results for carpets that are dry in, you guessed it, just 1 hour. Visit heavensbest.com for more information. Foul back to the screen. That's strike 1 for Whole House. Good swing on this one down the right field line, and everybody's going to give way to Knighting, who makes the catch. 6 in a row now retired by Rice.
Now
the 2 gone here in the 5th.
Fielder Chad Harris.
Can't quite make solid contact, and you notice something tonight that from both teams, Thomas, when they get up to the plate, almost seems like they're waiting for that called first strike before swinging away. But that just goes to show you the discipline from Coach Stramp and Coach Wallace.
1-0 to Paris. That one can't find the zone either. 2-0 the count. Hill on deck. 2 gone here in the 5th for the Jaguars. That one's low and inside. Now a 3-0 count. You issue a walk to Paris. It's almost like issuing him a free pass to second. Chad, 25 stolen bases in 27 attempts this season. .30 pitch. At the knee, strike 1. Paris thought he had worked the walk.
May not see him swing here either.
Full count. With 2 gone here at the top of the 5th.
Of course, as I say that, that's the right pitch to go after. It was right down the middle.
Fought it off over third base side. It's in foul territory. Paris stays alive. Hard hit ball through the left side. It's a base hit for Chad Parents with 2 gone here in the 5th. 4th hit for the Jaguars off of Lane Rice here tonight.
Now batting, second baseman Noah Hill.
Paris had a Jaguar record 31 stolen bases last season. There was a 2-way tie atop the leaderboard before last season between Tant Shepard and Thomas Sawyer, who had 22 stolen bases in the year. Now Paris owns the top 2 spots with 31 last year and 25 in counting this season. Connor Wanhanen also posted 22 last year for the Jags. Hill takes a first pitch high for ball 1. Noah 1 for 2 in the contest. Singled and scored in the first. Lone Jaguar run thus far. .294 average. No homers, 9 driven in. 8 stolen bases in 11 attempts. Count even now to ball and a strike. One pitch from Rice to Noah Hill. Runner goes, taking all the way. The throw is going to come in and get away. Paris is going to be up and on his way to third. The center fielder, Grasanovich, throws over. It's not going to be in time. Stolen base and an error puts a runner on third, and Noah Hill with a great count now, 2-1 at the plate.
It's something that the Jaguars just do so well. They've done it throughout the season, really since Danny Wallace came here, and it's a way to get your confidence going. If things aren't going your way at the plate, get a runner on and just be that much more aggressive. Could shake defensively, could shake up the Keller Indians.
Comes home. That one's in there for a strike. Count even now 2-2.
I like that style of baseball because it makes the opponent think a little bit more. Tightens things up a bit, and Keller's going to try to keep their focus here on this next at bat.
2-2 is fought off. Potential second run of the ball game, 90 feet away. Jaguars need something good to happen. Nothing has gone their way since the Indians threw up 5 in the bottom of the first. Full count on a very close call at the plate. And the Indians are getting restless. Hill steps back in. Paris on third, 2 gone. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Hard hit ball to right center field. And on the run is Grasanovich to make the catch. In the 5th, no runs on a hit, 1 error, 1 left. Time to stretch here from Kennedale High School. Indians with a 5-1 lead on Flower Mound. Back after these messages on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
We head to the bottom of the fifth inning, 5-1 your score. Keller on top of Flower Mound. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up here in the first. It's Say, Wakamatsu, and Young for head coach Rob Stramp and the Keller Indians. They've got a 4-run lead in their back pocket. Killian's been great since coming on in relief. And quickly jumps out in an 0-2 count to Hunter Say, who walked and scored in the first and popped up to Jacobson in really shallow center field back in the second. Now up for the third time here in the fifth inning. 0-2 from Killian. Fouled off maybe the shoulder, maybe the helmet, maybe both of Thornquist, and the count remains 0-2.
Had all of those runs come so early in the ball game. Both pitchers settling in nicely.
Pitch is lifted. Center field. Hannah with 5 steps back. Underneath it makes a catch. And it's a first out here in the fifth inning for the Indians.
Now batting the shortstop, Luke Wakamatsu.
Pitched very, very well here today. This half inning of Jaguar baseball brought to you in part by AOS Engineering, a commercial, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineering firm based in Plano. They're registered in multiple states and provide engineering services for multiple types of projects. Visit aos-engineering.com. See how they can help you on your next project. A rare first pitch ball from Killian. Showing bunt. Back to the mound. Killian's going to field it himself. And a strike over to Weimer at first. 1-3 on the ground out, even for the speedy Wakamatsu.
Now batting, designated hitter.
You want to push that one more down the line. Wakamatsu just kind of got right back towards the mound, but really tipped your cap to Killian to field his position. And after completing his follow-through, breaking down and making a solid defensive play.
Also the movement, Thomas, coming in on that pitch. Why not get the trajectory on the bat that he wanted with that bunt?
Phil Young took the first pitch, tried to check his swing on the second, and it came in and hit the inside part of the bat to foul it off. The count is now 1-1 with 2 gone here in the fifth. Six driven in on the year for Young, a .225 average. Now ahead in the count, 2-1. Another pitch downstairs. 3-1 the count here to Young. Had an RBI hit by pitch with the bases loaded in the first. That made it 3-0. Grounded out to third in the third. Now up for the third time here in the fifth. On the outside corner, counts full.
Beautiful pitch after that last one got away from Killian. The release point too low, and the ball ends up in the dirt, and he goes right after that outside part, hits the corner pocket.
Ground ball to second. Hill scoops it up, and the toss over in time. 4-3 ground out. 3 up, 3 down here in the fifth. 6 straight retired. And in fact, the last man to reach base, not via an error, came all the way back in the second. A leadoff walk to Knighting. That's 13 in a row, in essence, retired by Killian. In the fifth, no runs, hits, errors, nobody left. 5 full in the books. 5-1 your score. As the Keller Indians are on top of the Flower Mound Jaguars here in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Back to Kennedale High School after these messages. CSR TV.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Bang, bang play over at first base for Skylar Cox. And the leadoff man is aboard here for the Jaguars in the 6th. Infield single for Cox. And that's what the Jaguars need. Get the leadoff man aboard. They just have 6 outs with which to work. They trail by 4, 5-1 to Keller. Big swing, little nubber back over first base side of the mound. And that's going to be an out for Weimer. 1-3 on the ground out. Does move Cox over, though, to second base.
Now batting center fielder Jamison Hannah.
I think Stramp and the Indians will trade an out for a base runner advancing here. The rest of the contest, they'll hang on to win. Swing and a miss by Hannah, and that's strike 1. And the .368 average. DBU signing from the left side takes that for a ball. Evens the count 1-1.
You see how much concentration that Hannah's paying Rice right now. He is locked in at the plate.
Ground ball back to the mound. Throws over to first. He started to look towards second. Might have been able to catch Cox in a rundown, but instead just made the smart play and got the sure out at first base.
Casey Jacobson.
So back-to-back ground outs back to the mound. And for the second consecutive inning, the Jaguars have a runner on third base, but there are 2 outs. Up steps Jacobson, 0 for 2 in the contest. Came in with a .398 average on the year. Good block by Langeliers. Ball 1. The speed of Cox on third. The ball gets by Langeliers. It's going to score.
That's what Coach Wallace is thinking over there on third base is I've got to get one here at least. Obviously, he'd love to have 4 in this inning and tie it up, but give me one. See what we could do either the rest of this inning or coming back up in the 7th.
Do as much damage as you can here because the pressure will start to mount in the 7th. Jacobson can do it here with the base hit. 1-1 on the outside corner. 1-2 the count.
It's a pitch that just looks like it's going to end up in the left-handed batter's box, but movement just slides right back in there, and good job framing the pitch by the catcher.
1-2 swung on foul, third base side. Jacobson stays alive, a ball and 2 strikes. Kyle Rich behind the bag at third. Luke Wakamatsu, the shortstop. Second, Zane Wilkinson. Hunter Say behind the bag at first. That's your infield. Shang Langeliers, the catcher. And Lane Rice picks up his second strikeout as he strikes out Jacobson to end the threat here in the 6th. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left. 5.5 in the books, 5-1. Keller with the lead on Flower Mound. Indians have played a whale of a ball game here tonight, and they'll need just 3 more defensive outs in the top of the 7th inning to take game 1. They will step to the plate in the bottom of the 6th after these messages. 5-1 is the run in the first. All the damage being done. We'll be back to Kennedale High School after these messages. You're listening to Champion Sports Radio and watching CSR's TV's coverage of high school baseball. Back to Kennedale after these messages. Back here, bottom of the 6th inning. And 2 up for the Indians here in this frame. It's going to be the bottom third of the order. 7, 8, 9. Green, Wilkinson, and Rich face off against Killian. Now thrown 77 pitches, 52 of them for strikes since coming on in relief in the first inning. Along with Brian Mueller, I'm Thomas Lee. Thanks for tuning in to Playoff Baseball tonight here on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV. This half inning brought to you in part by Corner Bakery Cafe. This pitch is late swing, lifted up foul, out of play. Corner Bakery Cafe features innovative seasonal menu options while delivering a premier bakery cafe experience in the heart of neighborhoods everywhere. For more information, visit cornerbakerycafe.com. Curveball stays high. 2-2 the count here from Killian. 2 Green, 197 average. Struck out twice tonight. Both against Killian. Just stays alive, fouling that one off. Two-two pitch, swung on and hit to left center field. A very solid base hit for Chase Green. The left fielder's digging for third. And he's going to be in there with a leadoff triple here in the sixth.
Seems like that ball went to the furthest point in the outfield. Having to go chase it down. That's a tough play, but boy, what an at-bat right there. Level swing, goes right on the screws, really, on a fastball that just didn't quite have that movement that we've seen from Killian here tonight. And boy, the triple is a rarity, it seems like, at the high school level, just because of how good the pitching is here in North Texas. That's a nice hit.
Big swing by Zane Wilkinson. Comes up empty. That's strike one of the at-bat. Only the second hit off of Killian tonight. The first was the third batter he faced back in the first inning, a two-out single by Kyle Rich. Wilkinson gets under this one, pops it up, shallow right field. Paris hustling in, makes a catch. First out here in the sixth.
Now batting the third baseman, Kyle Rich.
That's a big out right there for Killian. It's help from his outfield. Paris does a good job at charging in. Seems routine, but everything's so magnified here in the postseason that sometimes you could lose it in the lights and then the run comes home, and now really have doubt in your minds, but Killian got the out and on his way.
Shaylin Fisher now will come on and hit for Rich here in the 9 spot.
Now batting number 11, Jalen Fisher.
Senior Shaylin Fisher now batting from the left side. .357 average on the year. In 28 at-bats, 9 singles and a double. Takes the first pitch, ball one. Wonder if Coach Stramp brought in the left-hander to push the bunt down the left field line and maybe try to add an insurance around here. No, swinging away there. Count is 1-1. Two and 1 the count. Killian comes set, checking the runner at third. Fastball. Fouled off and out of play. 2-2 now the count.
I was thinking maybe that Shaylin is a good pull hitter. Can get enough of it to get it deep in the outfield to have the runner tag.
Another pitch fouled off.
Especially with those balls coming in off the right-hander. A little bit better look and try to turn on one.
Swing and a miss at the throw down. Thornquist with a good job looking the runner back before completing the strikeout. Strikeout swinging 2-3 on the putout. Strikeout number 6 for Killian. And with 2 gone, a runner on third. Here comes the top of the order and pacing Gravinovitz. Big swing at the first pitch, got underneath it though, and Jacobson tracking it and makes a catch. And that'll do it for the Indians in the 6th inning. Pretty impressive by Killian. A leadoff triple, stranded at third as he gets the next 3 batters in order. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left. Last chance time for the Flower Mound Jaguars. We head to the 7th. 6, 7, and 8 will be due up for the Jags. They trail it 5-1 to Keller. Back to Pinnendale after these messages on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Last chance time for the Jaguars. 6, 7, and 8 due up. Jeffries, Thornquist, and Holhouse. 5-1. Keller with the lead on Flower Mound. Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Thomas Lee here along with Ryan Mueller. One-0 pitch. Make it a 2-0 count now. Rice with a complete game performance thus far. 2-0 pitch comes inside. It's now 3-0. 14 or under. That's been his pitch count every inning except for the 5th when he was extended a couple of times. But a 2-out single. Chad Paris stole second and then reached third on an error, but he was left there. On a pair of 7 pitch at-bats back-to-back by Paris and Hill. Really drove the pitch count up. It's a 3-0 pitch. The automatic is in there for strike 1. Fouls that one off, and the count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th to the leadoff Jaguar. Takes that one outside, leadoff walk. Only the second walk issued by Rice. Here comes Thornquist.
Now batting.
Score check as we head over to Argyle High School. Carroll continues to lead Coppell 4-0. The Dragons scratched across a few runs early, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, and Cantorino has made it hold up, and the Dragons have not gotten anything else off of Elliott as Thornquist drives it through the left side of the infield for a base hit. So the first 2 to the plate are on now for the Jags. 6th base hit of the night for Flower Mound off of Lane Rice. And they are going to make a change. Lane Rice's night is done. He comes off to a resounding ovation from the Indian fans here that made the drive south to Kennedale. So now it's going to be up to the Indians' closer. Let's try and get this victory.
Now coming in the pitch for the Keller Indians, number 8, Brian Berner.
Brian Berner has a 3-0 record on the year, has 4 saves and 5 opportunities, and a 0.62 earned run average. This is his 13th appearance. All of them have been in relief. In 22 2/3 innings on the season, Berner has given up 16 base hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned, 12 walks against 33 strikeouts. Has not given up a home run, and opponents hitting .205 off of Brian Berner now on the lefty for the Keller Indians, taking over for Lane Rice. The first two Jaguars are aboard. Nobody out here in the top of a seventh of a 5-1 ball game. Keller with the lead on Flower Mound.
Yeah, and a pretty good outing, too, by Rice. He just seemed to be on all game long, and it's really hard to hold down these Flower Mound hitters as talented as they are, and he just seemed to be mixing up his pitches, changing locations, changing speeds, and it really worked for him. Hats off to the young man, pitched a great game, and Flower Mound's got something cooking here in the seventh. They can continue to roll through this lineup, and like you have said, Thomas, time and time again, they've done a great job of stringing hits together at the right time. No better time than to do that right here in the first game of this series.
That's what Coach Eldon Fuel always talks about. We don't need the big bombs. We don't need the big extra base hits. Guys, just string 3 hits together in a ball game, in an inning. 3 hits together in an inning, and we're going to score a run. So now the Indians are putting their faith in the closer, Brian Berner, the Garden City commit. On now for Rice with 6+ innings of work. A really fantastically pitched ball game. The first two are aboard here for the Jags. And here's Sean Holhouse. Takes the first pitch, strike one. Holhouse, of course, with a home run last Friday. The 0-1. Good eye taking that one downstairs. Holhouse was 0 for 2 against Rice. Now with a 1-1 count here against Berner.
It's a nice job by Langelier behind the plate. He knew that pitch, where that was going to be. That's why you saw him kind of hover over home plate. That pitch came in the dirt.
Jeffries on second. Jareka running for Thornquist on first. A 1-1. Fought off. 1-2 the count here to Holhouse.
A good fastball from the left-hander coming to the plate. Hard to judge. It's a lot like what Killian does when he's on the mound. It just has that late movement. You think it's going to flatten out. It doesn't. So Holhouse really going to have to key in on some of these fastballs.
1-2 is high and outside. 2-2 the count. Chase Green is in left field. Peyton Grasinovitz is in center. Bradley Knighting over in right. All playing fairly straight away against the right-handed swinging Sean Holhouse. Two on, nobody out here, top of the seventh. Jaguars at the plate trying to do some work. They need 4 to tie. Two-two pitch from Berner. Struck him out. First strikeout for Berner, first out here in the seventh.
Holhouse trying to time that fastball. He came in early. That pitch runs underneath.
Now batting the right fielder, Chad Paris.
Nice toss into the catcher, Langelier, and tough one to take for Holhouse.
So Paris steps up. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled in the fifth. Ground out to Wakamatsu at short in the second. 2 on, 1 out here for the Jags. The first pitch is in there, strike one. Seventh inning. Jaguar Baseball brought to you in part by Anamia's, proud sponsor of the Jags. Treat yourself to more than 50 menu choices from the classic to the creative Mexican dish. Anamia's is the best Mexican restaurant in Flower Mound and a top Dallas caterer. Remember, everybody goes home happy after eating at Anamia's. Paris digs in with a .345 average. Shows bunt. First base side. It stays fair. The throw is a half step ahead of Paris. What a great play defensively there by Langeliers.
Great mentality, Danny Wallace.
Now batting.
Just never say die attitude. You realize you got the speed at the plate. Why not try to lay one down and load the bases with one out? Then you really have a chance as the tying run comes to the plate. That's a smart move by the head coach. Just didn't work out.
So here's Hill trying to keep game one alive. Jags down to their final out. Takes the first pitch high and outside, ball one. Stephanie at Jaguar Baseball also brought to you by DBAT Louisville, a proud sponsor of the Jags with a premier climate-controlled baseball and softball academy. 14 cages and a fully stocked pro shop. Visit their website at dbatlouisville.com for individual lessons and team workout information. Swings at that one, foul down the first base line, out of play. One pitch to Hill. Downstairs. 2-1. Jeffries on third. Jurek is on second.
Noah Hill's got a lot more patience than I do. That pitch looked like it could have touched the black on the inside. Of course, there's no black anymore, but the black on the inside part of the plate. Excellent eye to take that pitch.
Fastball fought off. Brian Berner needs one more strike to lift Keller to a Game 1 win, and the Indian fans are on their feet. Two balls, two strikes, two outs here in the top of the seventh. And 2 on for the Flower Mound Jaguars. Takes it outside for a full count.
That pitch almost looked like a splitter coming to the plate. Just off of it. Good eye again by Noah.
Full count. 2 outs. 2 on. Turns on this one and lines it to left. A good read by Chase Green, and he makes the catch in left field. Another extremely well-hit ball by Noah Hill, but caught by this talented outfield for the Indians. And Game 1 goes the way of Keller by a final score of 5-1. In the seventh, no runs on a hit, no errors, 2 left. And the Indians take Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Of course, these two teams have met in the playoffs several times before. 2004, the Jaguars dropped Game 1 5-3 before winning Game 2 12-2 and Game 3 3-0. In 2008, in the regional quarters, Keller took Game 2 before the Jaguars won the series 2-1. And the similar thing happened in 2009 where Keller won Game 2 and forced a Game 3 series. So while this is the fourth time all time that they've faced each other in the playoffs, every series has gone 3 games. Jaguar fans hoping that trend holds to form here in 2015. 5-0 is the score. Excuse me, 5-1. Keller with the win over Flower Mound. We'll be back. Post-game show after these messages on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure?
And welcome back here to the field. 5-1 the score as the Jaguars fall in Game 1 to the Keller Indians. Thomas Lee now joined by Danny Wallace. And Coach, this was a very strange ball game in the fact that Sean Weimer came out and was not himself at all, but I thought that your team showed tremendous resolve. They never packed it in. They never gave it up. And Killian came in and pitched a really great ball game. You kind of wish you could just go back and erase those first 6 batters.
Yeah, but you can't. So that's the way it works. I mean, we couldn't throw a strike early, and then we made a couple mistakes, and they got hits off of it, and we buried ourselves. And Caleb was great. And then, I thought we tried to compete at the plate, but when we had chances to drive in runs several times, we couldn't get it done.
Very uncharacteristic for your team. At one point, when you first walked out there to talk to Sean, the first thing you did was kind of kick the dirt around on the pitcher's mound. Did it seem a little odd to you at all, by chance?
What, the mound? No, there's no excuses to be made. We just got outplayed tonight.
Very solid team over here in Keller, and a team much like yourself that was an undefeated district champion. I know you're talking to the guys. It's going to be a quick turnaround for a 3 o'clock first pitch tomorrow. What was your message to them as you gathered them together at the end of the ball game?
Just that we got outplayed tonight, and then they got us, but they've got to get us twice. So we just show up tomorrow and start fighting.
Change venue a little closer to home. Obviously, they had a lot of fans here tonight, and I think the goal is to have as many Jaguar fans come out to Argyle tomorrow as possible. That 3 o'clock start may be tough, but I know that they'll be out there, and their voices will definitely help the team.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it'll be tough because school won't be out yet. So, but the game's played on the field, and the crowd had nothing to do with it. We just didn't perform tonight.
Well, Coach, best of luck regrouping. We'll see you tomorrow in Argyle.
Thank you.
That's Danny Wallace, the head coach of the Jaguars. Back for one more segment after these messages. 5-1. Indians defeat the Jaguars tonight on Champion Sports Radio.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But whirly ball is.
Until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
And we'll get back one final time here to Kennedale High School, the home of the Wildcats. Game 1 goes the way of the Keller Indians. 5-1 is your score. 1 run on 6 hits. No errors. 6 men left aboard for the Jags. Meanwhile, Keller 5 runs, all scored in the first off of 5 base hits. There was 1 error committed by Keller in the contest, and they left 5 aboard. It really is a story, as I bring in Ryan Mueller here, where the first inning decided the game, and then after that, these great pitchers just really dug deep and pitched a whale of a contest. Nothing but goose eggs after the first.
Yeah, that's, it's baseball. The first couple of innings, you're still trying to figure each other out, get used to the pitcher's style, and sometimes you can jump on them. And unfortunately, like you said, Weimer, just didn't have his best stuff tonight. But the good news is, he possibly could be back in this series, and he may be a lot more confident at that point. But, a lot more to be said. I think Flower Mound learned a lot about Keller tonight, and likewise.
Lane Rice is the winning pitcher tonight. His record goes to 7-1 on the season. The senior threw 83 pitches, 54 for strikes. In 6+ innings of work, he surrendered 6 base hits, struck out 2, walked 2, allowed 1 run. It was earned in the first inning, and it was the first batter. Noah Hill with a single was sacrificed over to second. A 2-out RBI single by Hanna, and that's all the offense that the Jaguars were able to muster tonight. Had a little threat going in the 7th until Brian Berner came in, picked up his 5th save of the season in 13 pitches, threw 8 for strikes. That 1 inning of work, he retired all 3 batters, sacrifice bunt, a fly ball to left field, but it all started with a strikeout. The first batter he faced. So 3 up, 3 down for Berner. He picks up the save. The loss is going to fall in the lap of Sean Weimer. He's now 8-1 on the year. Senior threw 28 pitches, 11 for strikes, did not retire a batter. 3 walks, 2 hits, and a batter hit. All 5 runs were earned, all credited to Weimer. Killian comes on, retires the first 2, and then allows a 2-run single to Kyle Rich. That's one of only 2 base hits in the contest that Killian allowed. The junior threw 91 pitches, 62 for strikes. In 6 innings of work, 2 base hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, no runs. Pretty effective night for Killian, but unfortunately the damage had already been done as 5 runs plated off of Weimer without him retiring a batter in the first. Offensively, Peyton Grasanovich was 0 for 3 in the contest. 0 for 2, had a sacrifice bunt, walked and scored in the first. Bradley Knighting, the right fielder, was 0 for 1, pair of walks and a run scored. Shea Langliers, the junior catcher, was 1 for 3, had a 2-run double in the first. Jared McKinney, his courtesy runner, scored in that frame. Hunter Say was 0 for 2 with a walk, scored a run. Luke Wakamatsu was 1 for 3 in the contest, singled and scored in the first inning. Phil Young, 0 for 2 in the contest, had an RBI hit by pitch in the first inning with the bases loaded. Chase Green 1 for 3 in the contest as he did triple to lead off the sixth. Zane Wilkinson 0 for 3 in the contest, and Kyle Rich, he was 1 for 2, a 2-run single in the first, reached on an error in the fourth. And there was a pinch hitter in the sixth inning, and Shaylin Fisher came in and struck out swinging. It all adds up for the Keller Indians to 5 runs on 5 hits. No Jaguar errors helped, and they strand 5 base runners in the contest. And ironically enough, 2 of those 5 coming in the first inning. We look at the Jaguar side of things. Noah Hill was 1 for 4 in the contest, singled and scored the lone Jag run in the first. Skylar Cox was 1 for 1, sacrificed bunt in the first, walked in the third, singled in the sixth. Sean Weimer 0 for 3 tonight. Jamison Hanna in the 4-hole was 1 for 3 with a 2-out RBI single in the first. Casey Jacobson in the 5-hole 0 for 3 in the contest. Thomas Jeffries 0 for 2 did work a walk to lead off the seventh. Nick Thornquist, big bat tonight, 2 of the 6 hits for the Jaguars. He doubled in the second and singled in the seventh. Sean Holhouse 0 for 3, and Chad Paris 1 for 2, singled, stole a base, reached third on an error, but was stranded there in the fifth. Also laid down a sacrifice bunt attempt in the seventh. Actually, that was a bunt single attempt. He was 1 for 3 in the contest. It all adds up to 1 run on 6 base hits. One Keller error did happen. That was in the fifth, allowing Paris to move from second to third after he stole the base. And 6 left on base for the Jaguars. Just not a game that Flower Mound has played through the first 32 ball games of the year. This was very different from what we have come to expect from them game in and game out under Danny Wallace.
But, as you hear Coach Wallace talk about it, he said, hey, we got nobody to blame but ourselves. We got outplayed. We didn't execute. And, it may turn the tide tomorrow up in Argyle, but, we've seen Flower Mound bounce back before. And, that's an outstanding stat. You look back at how many times these two teams have faced each other. It's gone to a Game 3. That's, works to Flower Mound's favor, I assume. But, yeah, it just takes getting off the field, get back on the bus, erasing it from your mind, coming out fresh tomorrow.
They were able to do that so well last year in the first round against LD Bell with all the pressure and all the expectation and so forth. And, again, got pushed to a Game 3 in the first round of the playoffs against Timber Creek. Took care of business in a 2-game sweep last week. But this is a team that is used to having their backs against the wall, used to fighting through adversity. But again, you got to really tip your cap to Keller. We talked about it all year. Didn't know how good they were with the district that they played in. And tonight they showed they are just as tough of a ball club as anybody in 6A, including the Flower Mound Jaguars.
And Flower Mound tomorrow, you're going to have a sense of urgency, but, don't press. That may be, the attitude tomorrow. They've got to just stay relaxed, play their game, continue to be aggressive, and, not up the series.
One more thing before let's check out what happened in the other Champion Sports Radio ball game of the night. We saw Sean Weimer get handed a defeat, and the same is going to be true, surprisingly enough, for Jensen Elliott, who gave up 4 runs. Just a shocking turn of events. It's actually a final now. And I think a 6-0 score as the Carroll Dragons defeat the Coppell Cowboys tonight 6-0 in Game 3. And Game 2 will be tomorrow. We basically have a doubleheader for you coming from Argyle. We'll have Game 2 of this series at 3 o'clock, Game 2 of the Carroll-Coppell series at 7. And you can tune in and join me for both those ball games, as instead of far southwest part of the Metroplex, we'll be in the far northwest part of the Metroplex. And if this series goes to a Game 3, we're going to go northeast because we'll be back up at McKinney-Boyd High School. So we're definitely traversing the Metroplex this week, and Jaguar fans probably join me in hoping for the fact that there will be a baseball game played on Saturday between these two teams.
Yeah, and the talent in this part of the state is just outstanding. It goes to show you tonight. I think a lot of pundits thinking Flower Mound running away with this series, but Keller has played everybody tough. Carroll, as you talked about, Thomas, they ended the season on a high. They continue to push. They beat the district champs in Midlothian. Hebron was no pushover, and here they are against Coppell. So never know what happens, right?
That's the great thing about